The day you left your badge on the table and you accepted money in exchange for ignoring his duty, you thought the system would reward you. You could easily drown out the voice of your conscience while paying off the mortgage on that house in the city's most luxurious neighborhood or holding the steering wheel of the brand new car you bought. But there was one critical rule you forgot. Every single dollar you take in the dark world is actually just a down payment on a piece of your soul that you've put up for sale. Now, you're sitting right across from the partners you've shared a table with for 10 years, with a federal wire hidden right under your jacket. In a moment, you will hear this story from beginning to end. If you enjoy this kind of storytelling, make sure to subscribe to the channel so you don't miss out on future videos. Level 1. The Applicant. You're staring at the screen. The Police Academy application page sits open right in front of you. Just like everyone else, you fill out the form online. You type in your name, your educational background, and your past administrative records, one by one. When you hit the submit button, you can feel something deep inside you begin to shift. About 6 months later, an email arrives. They're calling you in for interviews. You buy a plane ticket with your own money and make your way to the Academy headquarters. From the outside, the building looks like any ordinary, dull government office. Fluorescent lights, terrible drip coffee, and a man sitting across from you in a dark gray suit. For 4 straight hours, he asks questions without stopping. Where did you grow up? What languages do you speak? Have you ever had contact with illicit networks? At first, the questions feel completely absurd and random, but they are not. The man across from you is building your psychological profile. They are searching for patterns. They are looking for your vulnerabilities. You pass the first stage. Next comes the polygraph test. That black strap is fastened tightly around your chest, and sensors are attached to your fingers. The blood pressure cuff squeezes your arm. You are in a small, windowless, entirely white room. There isn't a single trace of emotion on the face of the examiner sitting opposite you. Have you ever committed a violation of the rules where you didn't get caught by the system? He asks. Your heart rate changes, and it immediately registers on the logs. In that exact moment, inside that room, you don't realize the machine doesn't actually measure lies. It only measures your stress. Because you don't know this, you become afraid. And because you are afraid, you confess to even the most absurd, tiny secrets hidden inside you. The machine makes you feel as if it is an all-seeing power. 3 weeks later, a letter arrives in the mail. You have been accepted into the Academy. You are now on your way to becoming an honest officer. Or at least, that's what you think. Level 2. The Rookie Officer. They assign you to one of the most troubled, darkest precincts in the entire city. When you put on that official uniform, even your skin smells different. That squeaking brand new leather belt, the heavy Glock riding on your hip, and that bright metal badge pinned to your chest. You still haven't forgotten those grand speeches at the Academy or the solemn oath you took to protect the streets no matter the cost. You wake up at 5 in the morning to the crackle of the radio. The air is so cold and misty that you can literally taste the moisture as you breathe. For the first few months, you do nothing but walk a step behind your senior partner. This is where you first realize that the actual order of the world looks nothing like the textbooks they teach you at the Academy. Late one night, you respond to a break-in call at a shop in the back alleys. You corner the suspect in a backyard and snap the handcuffs onto his wrists. When you open his backpack, you find stacks of unregistered cold cash staring back at you. The handcuffed man looks at your partner, then turns his eyes to you. Half of it is yours. Just pretend you never came to this yard tonight, he says. You immediately reach for your radio, wanting to broadcast an announcement to dispatch. But your senior partner places his hand firmly over your radio. Without even looking at you, your partner discreetly took a portion of the undisclosed funds. Then he turns back to the suspect and says, "Get out of here and don't let me see you in this sector again." You stand there in absolute shock. When you return to the precinct, your partner drops a few of those stacks right onto your desk. "I know you can't afford your rent, rookie," he says quietly. "Hard rules don't feed you in this city. You can't change the system. You just survive it." You stare at that money for hours. You think about the utility bills piling up at home and the overwhelming credit card debt. The exact moment you take that money and slide it into your pocket, that idealistic kid inside you silently steps off the stage. Level 3. The Patrol Officer. It's your 3rd year on the force, and there is absolutely nothing left of that kid from day one. You can barely make ends meet. Your bills are piling up, and your wife is constantly complaining about the expenses. Your breaking point arrives on a Tuesday night. During a routine traffic stop, you pull over a luxury car. The driver's eyes are bloodshot and uneasy, and in the back seat, you see clearly unregistered gray market packages sitting out in the open. The man slides a thick envelope between the pages of his driver's license and hands it over to you. This amount is equal to 6 months of your government salary. You look around, the street is completely empty, and the sky is pitch black. You slip that untraceable envelope into your pocket and wish the man a safe journey. When you get back home, your heart pounds rapidly as you hide the cash under the mattress. You tell yourself that this is just a one-time thing, just something to clear your debts. But you are wrong. Nobody notices, and no internal affairs investigators come knocking on your door. That first invisible compromise is more than enough to completely alter the direction of the honest man inside you. Within a short time, he became an officer who accepted irregular payments from individuals involved in minor street activities. Behind the sheer comfort that money provides, your conscience has long since faded into total silence. Level 4. The detective. Through a combination of engineered successes and cultivating relations with the right people, you earn your promotion to plainclothes. That heavy uniform is finally gone. You are out on the streets now with your badge hidden discreetly under your jacket. Your mandate is to bring the underground syndicates under control, but you have an entirely different blueprint in mind. Before long, you developed connections with certain influential figures in the sector, enabling him and his team to influence the flow of unofficial activities. The transaction operates with absolute simplicity. You safeguard the operations that provide you with a steady, monthly package. You provided early warnings about impending operations. For those who did not cooperate, you used official procedures to disrupt their activities. When you sit at your desk in the squad room, everyone views you as a relentlessly hard-working detective, a true nightmare for those who break the rules. After all, you execute at least 3 high-profile busts every single month and consistently make the local news. But nobody knows that the groups you are systematically dismantling are actually just the direct competitors of your financial partners. The budget you bring in has now reached tenfold your official government salary. You continuously tell your wife that you are making extra income from the lottery. You pull up in a brand new luxury car, and you buy an apartment in a highly affluent neighborhood. Level 5, the organized crime detective. Because you consistently take care of the right people and deliver flawless, clean reports to top management, they transfer you straight to the organized crime division. Now, you are in the major leagues. That silver badge hidden under your jacket isn't there to keep ordinary people in line anymore. It exists to make the biggest cartel bosses running the city bow down to you. In this place, the rules are significantly bigger and far more ruthless. You no longer deal with the petty cash flowing on the streets. You are sitting at the exact center of large-scale undocumented shipments, the unrecorded earnings of various establishments, and unauthorized trade. You notice a turf war is about to erupt between the 2 largest syndicates in the city. An honest detective would execute a dismantling operation on both sides to stop the imminent bloodshed. But that is not what you do. Instead, you meet with the leader of one of the groups inside a luxury yacht at a secluded marina far from the city's eyes. A substantial sum was offered to facilitate a key delivery. His role would be to redirect routine patrols and surveillance from the designated path. He agreed to the arrangement. As for the leader of the rival group, you lock him up at headquarters through a sudden, aggressive dawn raid. This move allowed him to report a significant achievement to his superiors, while simultaneously neutralizing a key rival for his benefactor. When you look in the mirror that night, there isn't a single trace of regret on your face. You are no longer a cop catching criminals. You are the man who personally dictates how the traffic flows in this city. Level 6, the captain, special investigations / organized crime. Your ascent becomes completely unstoppable, and you achieve the rank of captain within the division. At this point, you are long done dealing with the small-time envelopes of a few $1,000s from street crews or corrupt rookies. Your desk is where the ultimate fate of massive, gray market cargo entering the ports and customs checkpoints is decided. With a single stroke of your pen, you are the one who determines which semi-truck is subjected to a microscopic inspection, and which one passes straight through to the highway, completely unbothered. The large sums of undeclared cash from these networks now required more discreet storage solutions than his home. You set up various shell corporations and systematically hoard luxury real estate. The sheer power blinds you so completely that you view yourself as entirely above federal law. One day, an honest customs inspector who flatly refused to cooperate with your network grows suspicious and begins digging into the paperwork. He uncovers documents detailing the irregular arrangements he made with certain groups. The syndicate leader calls you on an encrypted phone. You notice the ice-cold tone in his voice. "This man is a major problem for our infrastructure, Captain," he says quietly. "We need you to give us his duty schedule and patrol list for this week." You know exactly what they mean. You know this man's card is being pulled. You pick up that exact list sitting on your desk and fax it over. 3 days later, the news arrives that the honest inspector was removed from the operation. His body was later discovered in a remote area. You personally attend his funeral. You hug his grieving wife and offer your condolences. Then, looking straight into the eyes of his young child, you say, "I am going to bring the people who did this to justice." When you get back home, you stand at the bathroom sink and wash your hands for minutes. You look in the mirror, but you can no longer even recognize the dark figure staring back at you. Your soul is entirely submerged in a dirty system. Yet, with those exact same hands, you keep counting the incoming off-the-books budgets anyway. Level 7. The Commander, Organized Crime Division. You're at the absolute peak of your career. You now occupy that lavish corner office on the top floor of headquarters, looking down on the entire city. You've become the chief commander of the Organized Crime Division. The city's entire illegal trade and the criminal underworld depend on the decisions that come out from between your lips. You give briefings to the governor and the mayor. You place fancy fabricated statistics in front of them, showing how crime rates are dropping and how you cleared the syndicates off the streets. While they praise your integrity and pat you on the back, you run your own massive criminal empire right behind their backs. But in a place where that much money changes hands and secret operations run, secrets can't be hidden for long. Your closest colleague, your old partner Marcus, whom you grew up with since the academy and swore an oath with, uncovers logistics documents and offshore account statements bearing your signature during an independent financial investigation. One evening, after everyone else leaves, he comes into your office. He leaves the folder on your desk. There is deep disappointment and rage in his eyes. He says, "I'm giving you until tomorrow to fix this, resign, and turn yourself in to the prosecutor," and slams the door as he leaves. The moment he steps out of that room, your world crashes down on you. In absolute fear and panic, you call the leader of the shadow organizations. You say, "Marcus knows everything. He's taking the file to the federal prosecutor. He's putting the whole system at risk." The next morning, you are startled by an announcement over the police radio. Your old partner's car was attacked at the entrance of an industrial park during his morning commute, and Marcus's involvement concluded abruptly. You were responsible for exposing your best friend, the man your children called Uncle, to grave danger. That day, for the first time, you realize that none of the off-the-books income you earned or the luxury goods you bought can ever warm that ice-cold void inside you. Level 8. The Deputy Chief. You are now in your late 40s. You serve as the city's Deputy Chief of Police. The ranks on your shoulder are complete, but your inside is entirely empty. Your body is slowly failing you. You can't sleep at night because of the nightmares. You feel like there is always a shadow behind you. Years ago, your wife packed her bags and left you, tired of your dark, unexplained money and endless lies. Your children don't even look at your face. They don't want to be in the same room as you. To them, you are just a soulless figure who thinks financial power can buy everything. As you walk through the hallways, you notice young officers whispering behind your back and looking at you with suspicion. Rumors are circulating that Internal Affairs has started a covert operation targeting your unit. Every morning, when you sit down at your polished desk, you look at the silver badge in your wallet. That badge no longer symbolizes justice for you. It represents a dirty, rusty shield covering all the rules you broke and your shadow partnerships. You are at the very top of the power system, but you are actually more alone and helpless than you have ever been in your life. Every ringing phone and every knock on your door feels like an announcement of your end. You locked yourself inside a dark prison you built with your own hands. Level 9. The Interrogated Suspect. And that inevitable end arrives on a foggy Thursday morning. Internal Affairs investigators and federal agents enter your office and read the official arrest warrant to your face. Handcuffs are snapped onto your wrists before the stunned eyes of the officers who worked under you for years. They take you from your lavish office and bring you down to the bottom floor of the building, into a windowless, cold, and dimly lit interrogation room. You sit on the opposite side of that metal table, where you personally made hundreds of criminal actors talk and caught them in their lies throughout your life. The chief investigator across from you takes a deep drag from his cigarette and drops a thick folder in front of you. Inside the folder are your offshore bank account statements from the last 6 months, surveillance footage taken with hidden cameras showing you with shadow leaders, and most importantly, the cell tower records of that encrypted phone call you made regarding your old partner Marcus's disappearance. All your fancy ranks, your army of bodyguards, and your power are stripped away from you in a single second. The chief investigator leans forward without a single trace of pity in his voice. You have 2 clear options in front of you. You will either accept spending the rest of your life in a single cell inside a federal prison, or you will cooperate with federal investigators to reveal the extent of the clandestine networks he had been part of. That silver badge glows right there on the table, but you are now a nobody in that dark room, without a rank and without a future. Level 10, the ghost. You cut that secret deal with the federal prosecutor in exchange for taking down the entire system. You sit at the table with your old partners, wearing a digital recording device taped to your chest. For months, you play that dangerous theater where a single mistake in your breathing would leave your account settled in an abandoned warehouse. Finally, everyone is taken into custody and the operation ends. They give you a new name, a new face, and a new past. You are in the witness protection program. Your badge is gone, your name is gone, and your old life is completely erased. Now you live alone in a small town thousands of miles away from the city where nobody knows you. You have money. The secret salary provided by the government is good, but you are no different from a ghost. The people in the town think you are a retired government clerk. Every night before going to bed, you check the locks on your door 3 times. You wake up suddenly at 3 in the morning and look out the windows into the dark street. You can never be sure whether the remaining men of the captured shadow leaders are after you or if it's just your own conscience. You were a cop who broke the rules. You started the journey honestly, but you sold a piece of your soul at every rank. At the end of the road, the only thing left in your hands was a massive nothingness, filled with fear, loneliness, and betrayal. Right now, a young kid waits in line with excitement at the academy gates. He can't wait to swear an oath that he will clean up the streets and protect order no matter the cost. That kid doesn't know yet how this profession consumes a person and how it slowly fills you up with secrets and filth. But he will learn. Just like everyone else, he will learn.